Hi students, this is Mr. Yang. In this video, I will talk about number 15 in our 9.13 homework. Let's have a look. First, the left side is more complicated, so I'm going to start with my left side. Then, since most of the question is actually in sine and cosine, I'm actually going to rewrite it in sine and cosine first. The top stays the same. The bottom comes 1 minus sine theta over cosine theta. So I just rewrote tangent. And then I have sine theta. Bottom becomes 1 minus cosine theta over sine theta. Next, I see the bottom have fractions and numbers, so I'm going to rewrite them so that I can combine the fractions. So I'm going to put the 1 as 1 over 1. And the first one, because the common denominator is cosine, so I'm going to need to rewrite the 1 over 1 as cosine over cosine. I still have minus sine over cosine. The cosine stays on the top. For the second one, because the common denominator is going to be sine, so I'm going to need to rewrite the 1 over 1 as sine theta over sine theta. And still minus cosine theta over sine theta. The top still is sine theta. Next, since I found the common denominator, I'm going to put them together as the same fraction on the bottom because they have the same denominator here. So it becomes cosine theta minus sine theta over cosine theta. Top is cosine theta. Then I still have plus sine theta over sine theta minus cosine theta all over sine theta. That's the second one. Now I can actually keep rewriting them. Cosine, because I'm dividing by this big fraction on the bottom, dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I'm going to flip this bottom fraction. Now cosine theta is on the top, and I have cosine theta minus sine theta. Same thing, I'm going to flip the other fraction as well. So it's going to be sine theta times sine theta on the top. Bottom is sine theta minus cosine theta. Again, this step is actually doing the reciprocal. So this becomes that part, and this becomes that part. So these are reciprocals. Next, I'm going to finish putting them together. I have cosine theta squared on the top. The bottom is cosine theta minus sine theta plus sine theta squared all over sine theta minus cosine theta. Now we're kind of at a place they're stuck because the bottom are not the same, but if you look carefully, the bottom are actually very similar. This is cosine minus sine, and this sine minus cosine. So here requires a little special technique. Because this is a plus sine theta minus cosine theta, I'm going to change that plus into a negative sign. Then that means I need to change the sign for everything inside the second fraction. So in that case, you will see the sine becomes negative sine, and the negative cosine becomes a positive cosine, which actually becomes cosine theta minus sine theta, which is the same as the first fraction. So now I do have a common denominator, so I can rewrite as cosine theta squared all over cosine theta minus sine theta, then minus cosine theta minus sine theta. On the top is sine theta squared. So now I can actually put them into the same fraction. So you see I have cosine theta squared minus sine theta squared all over cosine theta minus sine theta. The top, I have perfect square minus perfect square. If you forgot about that, a squared minus b squared can be factored as a plus b times a minus b. So I can actually rewrite the top as cosine theta plus sine theta times cosine theta minus sine theta. And my bottom is cosine theta minus sine theta. Now you can see I actually have parts that I can cancel. I'm going to cross these and cancel them. I only have cosine theta plus sine theta left. And that is the right side, so I got it. That is number 15. Thank you.